Hank, Flip, and everybody else, Marcus. What questions, thoughts, concerns?
It really was in focus. I just want to make that one little observation that the entire film was actually in focus.
The projector was a little soft, so.
As soon as I saw Flip, he was just like,
Did they get a ladder real quick?
and there was like 2 seconds, and then
Can I stand on somebody's shoulder? I
was sitting in front, I felt it.
yeah. I was just being turn off Flip, it's not going to change during the season, I'm sorry.
Was the steam coming out of my head?
It was the turning head.
In the back rows.
And like you kept looking as if there would be someone there to
Yeah,
adjust it,
yeah,
and there wasn't, and no one came down from the ceiling to fix it.
So outside of that, you guys were captivated by the story? You got sucked into Marcus's journey?
Marcus, by the way, he has the official poster, and we have some here. And so, for those of you who'd like to get one, we'll sign it for you. For me, if you don't mind me saying, it's having, Marcus is, you can read about him. He's one of the sharpest, most interesting. Should I go on and on? You can tell. You don't take on a project if you don't want to dedicate at least a half year to even a short documentary. And so, when Marcus and I were talking, I was just delighted that, he kind of would allow me to do this project. And as we went from person to person, and many of you who are in the film are here, the same theme kind of came up in the most interesting and most expressive way, how much they not just enjoyed his work, but enjoyed him as a human being. And so, to get behind that is super easy for me. I consider Marcus, not just a good friend, but really, really strong, inspirational artist. And one of my favorites, if not favorites. So I'm just want to say thank you, Marcus, and you can take a little poster today if you want to.
Thank you. Thank you. It really was me. There's so many people involved, and not everybody's here today. So a lot of people, Lawrence Gartell couldn't make it. He was heavily involved. And I know Carl, your part was great. I really appreciated that, and just everybody that was involved. It was just great. It was a team effort.
It is fascinating, though, to see each person's perspective. Because remember, everyone's shot at separate times, everyone's interviewed, and everybody has a perspective. And it's fun to pull the bits and pieces together to create the story. Because no two are necessarily alike, and it's kind of like the painting itself. Everyone sees the same person, but they all see it from a slightly different perspective. And when you can start to weave that together to tell the whole story, I think it best represents Marcus. Would you guys agree, or do you think we missed something, or we missed part of telling the story?
No, I thought it was great. I thought you see the different sides and how everyone interpreted differently, but there was definitely a similar theme in what everybody sees before too, which was very well told, I thought.
What questions do you guys have?
Well, actually, question. Can you kind of, the thought process, like whose sort of first idea, how you guys kind of brought who in, and kind of the process of making it just from idea to screen?
Well, I think it was kind of my idea, and Marcus and I've been wanting to do a documentary on him for a while, and he's super busy, and I don't know if he's more harder to get a hold of, or I am, but we miss calls all the time. So every once in a while we bump into each other and we spend a solid 5 minutes face to face and talk about very important things. And one was, let's do this documentary, and I'd like to maybe have Marcus relate all the things that he has going on right now. It's hard to keep up with all of the events that he goes to. Obviously, Art Basel was just at. A lot of the scenes that we saw was at Adam's Gallery. We have shots from there, and of course, we're so glad to have Adam and Sloan. Sloan's not here, he's not here. Pulse New York, and he's done work for MGM and Ford Motor, and big things coming, which we can't even talk about. To get something actually in a form that he could show to not just people interested in his art, and also he could hold on to for himself. I wanted to be very involved with it. I consider you can work with people you don't like, and then you can work with people you like, and just so happens Marcus fits in that latter category. So. Once we sat down, it was kind of like, hey Flip, what are you doing? So Flip tore it up as usual and went to work on it, and we got all the shots, and then it was kind of like, well, up to. We got a month or two to.
It started really spontaneous, you know, and it kind of snowballed into this thing, and people got involved. So it was really just initially, you know, when we started, it was more like this kind of take the camera and film, you know. But then we had the still format. We sat down, and I liked the still format. I'm glad we did that, and everybody got involved, and people that we didn't even know were involved. It's just kind of snowballed into it. I think it became much more serious than we initially thought.
Very organic and
Right.
not structured at all. But that's okay. That's the beauty of the industry.
Surprised?
I mean, sometimes it needs to be structured, and sometimes it doesn't need to be structured. It's all.
And there's a lot of raw footage too. I mean, you know, people don't understand these editors. I mean, you know, they work, you know, because they were hours, right? We had like what, 3 hours of footage altogether.
And you know, to go through that process, you know,
And they
it's
have to
really
weed out, you know, all these segments, you know, the important segments, take them out and put them together and restore them. And so, like as Ed was saying, that's an art piece in itself, really. Yeah, we have no credit.
And then we're giving him the credit, you know, and I know to put Flip on bird photography was strong for me, you know. I put him against anybody, you know, and was really pleased to have him on board. And then obviously when it comes to editing, you know, you can always count on Hank, and then he, of course, he pulled in that, and then I know that's like, and then it's, you know, Mark is like, what's going on? Can we get this for the festival or what? So we're all real busy. It allows us, you know, it's a full-time adventure for all of us, but obviously Southwest Florida we're still working at having, you know, now that we know that we can do a documentary for an awesome artist, there's others that probably, you know, we have a kind of well-oiled machine, and I'm kind of really proud of that.
During the editing, during the editing sequence, is there anything, Marcus, that you thought might have been left out that you would have liked and maybe included in something later on?
Yeah, if we had more time, and considering with the information we had, we did the best. But I think, you know, maybe be more in the studio working and so forth, that probably would be, you know, of interest to some people. I've never painted in front of a camera live, and I really generally don't want to. but maybe, you know, if we wanted to lengthen it or something in the future, that's something we could probably do, so we could add some footage like that too, if anything. But otherwise, I thought it was just right.
I just want to say that you all who produced it must be geniuses, because you made me sound serious.
No, we took the 4 hours of not serious footage.
You did
In fact, we cut you out of the
something.
whole thing for a while. Like, she's not serious.
I don't know what you did.
But in fact, while we were shooting her, while we were shooting you, there was a piece that she had on the wall, which I became quite fond of. And,
Obviously.
and that's why you see it as it's our poster images here. So, we're very happy to have that. And it's on your program guide. And,
Well,
Fort Myers
where's
is-
Waldo? Did you all see it?
It was in the film.
Where can we see your work?
Well, here's my gallerist is Adam Wilson. He just came from Miami. So our gallery's there in 101 exhibit in Miami.
Design District.
Design
It's
District.
in Miami right now. It will be up for a long period of time.
What is it? Okay. Yeah, and then we have we've got a show, of course, in May coming up here at the Sydney Burn right here.
In May.
Nice.
So that's
Marcus is obviously online, MarcusJansen.com, and you keep up with him on Facebook, and you know you'll see. Obviously, go to Adam's and Sloan's gallery, or 101. 101exhibit.com. And like I said, it'll be right here in Fort Myers. He'll show his exhibit in May at the City Burn Art Center.
which will be the first time in years, really. We had a
Yeah.
show all over.
When, here?
So,
Here at the City Burn in May, we'll have Marcus Jansen has an exhibit. But still go over to Miami before that. Go to Adam's gallery.
Do we know when in May?
I don't know when in May. Do you know when in May?
is Jim here? Is Jess on?
It's not early.
Jim is here.
I'll find out.
But it's in, I think it's early